Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be diving into another mission on the Vulnhub, which is Warzone 3. The link will be put in the description section below so that you can download and play on your own. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. Now let's get started. The mission involves a lot of Java source code reviewing, okay? A bit intimidating, right? But anyway, we can head over to Linux to begin with. First of all, we need to discover the IP address of the target machine. And we can use the net discover to do that, no problem. And the IP address could be identified as 235. So what shall we do next? We need to perform port and self scanning with the map. To save time of this video, I've already done that before. So now we can get out its result. So as you see over here, I took options like scene scan, the default script scan, verse scan, and the full range port scan. The last option for all is ON to output the result into this file. Although the IP address of the target machine has been changed from the first time I did the machine, okay? But this doesn't affect our application. From the map scanning results, we can tell that the target has 1, 2, 3 open ports in total. Let's take a look at them one by one. The first one is 21, which is running FTP service, and also the version information, including its exact version number. And also by default script scanning option, we can tell that the target allows anonymous login. Later, we need to check it out manually. The second one is 22, which is running SSH service, and also the version information. But I don't think we can find any workable vulnerability for this particular version, okay? And the last one is for false. The map cannot determine its service because there is one question mark in the end. So what shall we do next? We need to emulate FTP service. How to do? We can use such a sprite, and although we can have this or have one exploit, but this one falls into category of DOS or denial of service. This is not what we want at this point. And next, we need to FTP to the target, and the username is anonymous. And we are in, and now we can go inside the pub directory. We can download both files to our Linux alien. And now we can, also you can check whether we can navigate across different locations, but we get error 550. And also we can check whether we have permission to, upload a file to the target. As you know, I'm following my methodology. We can use put and test, but we got error of 550. So now we can exit from FTP because we cannot do anything else, okay, against FTP. And now also we need to check whether we can have permission to, or we need to see how we can connect to the 444 port number. We can use netcat and the IP address of the target machine followed by the port number. However, we didn't get anything back, any response from the target machine, okay? So now we can exit from or disconnect, from the target machine. Now we can have a look at the downloaded file note. So here it's telling us, it's saying related aliens behavior is now live and default credentials are great. But at this moment, we do not know where to use these, these credentials. So, but anyway, we can paste over to my notebook, and your token is SHA 256. And do not be afraid. our system is very secure. If you want higher privileges, please contact with our boss. Of course, this is what we are going to do. We need to have higher privileges. Okay, so now how can we do next? I think also from the name of the file we can see this should be the client 2 to connect to the target machine on the port number 444. So next we need to review this file. How to do that? As you know, this is the jar file, and before we review this file, we can check to see whether we can use this client 2 to connect to the target machine. Okay, we can use the Java and with option for jar and alien. Press enter, and now we are get something back. Beautiful. And so far, we have already got the credential. We can copy username and password. Click login button, but nothing happened. A bit strange. So what's going on here? Let me close up this login window. Next, it's time to review or check this jar file. Jar file is short for Java archive. We can understand this as the zip file. And you can unzip, but also we can use a bit more professional tool to check. Okay, so we can use JD-GUI. Press enter. Now we can open this file. Okay, now we can check the source code here. And so here the command starter and the starter class. Here we find this domain name. Okay, and we can put over here. We do not need to be very familiar with Java, programming language. I think here not very difficult to understand. Here just set up or create the socket instance or objects. Okay, and the login, the username and password. True. So here you get a source, view button, and the row. And we'll check the row. If the row equals to researcher, and we'll get the permission. But right now, we didn't get anything like the permission denied. So I think the problem lies in this domain name. We didn't configure the target machine into the host file. Okay, let me do it now. We can use the echo. So the IP address. I forgot the IP address. I should make notes. Okay, so echo and the IP address of the target machine. And also I need to check the domain name. Yeah, it's correct. So now we can hit enter. Now we can try to use this client 2 to make a collection again. The username and password. Oh, this one. Login. So now I think up to this point we know we are logging successfully to this application remotely. So this is a secret researching system. Here you can submit or view reports about aliens' behaviors, and we can upload the file, but this is not implemented yet, and we can view, so permission denied. Do you remember? Just now we have already seen this message, permission denied. because now maybe now our role is researcher, and if the role is astronaut, and then the following block code will be executed, will not give us the permission denied error. So, but how to change the role? Because now, we need to change this client 2 and to make a new client. And this client, we can purposefully set the role to astronaut, okay? And then I think we can, and we can run the following code. And let's scroll down. So secret view reports. Just now we have listed that, view reports. And here, not this one. Here, as you can see, we'll run command like a tail. So next we can put reversal command here, and the command can be executed. So how to do? And let me show you. First of all, we need to save all sources, and we can save. Okay, now I think we can also close this JD-GUI too. Now we can use unzip alien. Okay, now we can use the VS Code to to edit this file. Okay, so yeah, this one, alien starter. So how to do? And we can scroll down. Where? So we want to change the role from researcher to astronauts. Okay. Here, I think here we just put the role to astronaut. Very simple, right? And do not forget to put semicolon in the end. So because we set a role to this one, and the following code will be executed. Okay, and also we can see this error, and so I think there's some kind of a type mismatch. We can change this to 0. Now we can save our program. Now how to do next? We can go inside this one and alien. We can use the Java. We can, we can compile the all Java file, and the D means the directory, the current directory, and all files. We can press enter. I think it's done. Go to alien. Now we can use Java and jar cvm. We want to create the file test, and we need to create the manifest file. Okay, sorry, I forgot to do that. We can use the vim fast, and this just some description of this Java application. Okay, now we can use jar. Let me autocomplete this command. Okay, it's done. Now we can use the Java jar and the test. This is our own client 2, And oh, sorry, I think I forgot to change the command. We can scroll down. Because we want to get reverse shell on the target machine. And based on our previous analysis, this command will be executed, but I'd like to run different command. Netcat IP address of the Kali Linux port number, and this is not necessary. Okay, save. So now let me delete the test, the jar file. Then we can use the jar and Java, and press enter. It's done. And then we can use Java jar. Let's autocomplete this command. It's done. And now we can, of course, I think we can set up the listener on the Kali Linux waiting for collection from the target machine. So the Java test, press enter, and we need to supply the username and the password one more time. We can copy and okay, log in, and we need to go to view and the reports. Okay, as you can see, we successfully got back the collection from the target machine. Fantastic, right? And we need to spawn interactive shell by Python, import pty spawn bin bash. Color. So then we can clear the screen. Next, we need to, gather information to elevate privilege or make lateral movement. Info under boss text, permission denied, info. But I think we need to this is a current user, and here, one more file, one more jar file, and encrypted. So maybe this is encryptor Java application or Java program, and we need to transfer this one, and this should be encrypted file, and we need to transfer both to our Kali Linux. And so how to do? We can use we can set up another listener. We can copy the name of this file. Now we can cut out this file and pipe operator, netcat. Okay, it's done. And also we need to transfer encrypted file. Okay. Cat. It's done. Of course, now I think we cannot read this file out. It's encrypted. And as before, we can decompile this jar file with JD-GUI, and we can open this file. Okay, so what's going on? So crypto exception, crypto. So this, and this is the main class file. So I think what this main class file is doing, this one is trying to, is or was to encrypt this file, and output is this one, aliens. We need to, we need to decrypt, or we need to reverse, we need to do reverse operation. So how to do? I think first of all we can save all source file to current directory, and now maybe we can close up this window and go to VS Code. So this one. Okay, next we can unzip. Okay, it's down. So this is the main Java. So how to do? We can do, we need to, we need to decrypt the encrypted file. And to do that, we need to change. First, we need to change the main Java file, and then we need to create the decrypt, because at this moment, just encrypt function. We need to create the decrypt function. Okay, let me show you. So I think the path should be, I think, we can go to this directory. So now also we can copy encrypt it to a current directory. So now we can copy this path. So this should be, I think we do not need to care about this variable. I just change this one. Oh, not this one. So we can input the file should be this. Okay, and new file we can copy, and we can use this name. Of course, you can use any name, and I think that we can call it decrypted, and decrypt. So, but here is encrypt function. Function or method. We need to change to decrypt. But at this moment, Cryptor class doesn't have a decrypt function yet. No problem. We can go to this one, and we can copy. We can limit to decrypt. Okay, and this one should be, we can use a cipher. Cipher. Oh. No, not in this one. decrypt mode. Okay, it's correct. So now we can save. I need to make check. Okay, let's run this main Java file. We do not need to compile it. We just run Java and main Java. We got error. So what's the error? No such a file. No such a file. Interesting. Static pass. So do we need to pass this pass? I don't know. Let's run one more time. Oh, now it's correct. So now we can cut out this text file. And although, some gibberish data, we can use string aliens text. So now we can get the username and password. Fantastic. And we need to do some, processing. We can use cut column to usernames. Okay. And the second column is passwords. Okay. Great. So now we can use a Hydra to crack it. Okay. Now we can get the credentials for the SSH. Beautiful. And we can copy the password. So now I think now it's time to decrypt this GPG file. And also this help tell us we need to give the passphrase to decrypt. But before that, we need to transfer this file to our Linux. You can use netcat. Yeah, netcat I think it's okay. Also, we can use OSCP. I think the netcat is fine. I like to use this method to transfer files. Now we can cat netcat. Now we got it back. So now we need to, we need to use the batch option, because here it's telling us remember to use the batch option. And also we need to output for the, let me autocomplete this command. So I output to this file, and we need to pass the passphrase. And also, this is, we got this hint from this file, okay? And decrypt. So now we can press enter. Now we got this jar file. Yeah, this one. And we can use, I think we can copy, we can move, we can copy this file to the working directory. Okay. So now, yeah, it's here. Now we can launch the GUI, and to open this file, Which one? Yes. So sec pass keeper. Okay. And so now we can get the, the root password manager, secret passphrase. We need to give the secret passphrase. However, here the two, the variable, and the variable is set by these two functions, decrypt. And if user equals, this one, and then we'll get the plain text password. So if we can change, this, because this client, we can change it to true. So whenever the following code will be executed, and then we can get the password for the root user. Okay, so how to do? We can save and save. Now, I think we can close up this GUI. How to do? We can unzip. Okay, let me use. Let's collapse some of directories. So which one? Yeah, this one. And Java. So how about we change this condition to true? Save. And now we can run. We can go to this directory and run the Java main Java. And we can put anything because, we do not need to care about this, whether this one equals this one. Okay, so now we can get the password for the root user. So then we can switch to root user. Great. So now we have really got a root shell and boss. So I think that's pretty much it. I'd like to see you next. See you. Have a good day, please.